Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. There's a lot of questions I get because my family's from Puerto Rico. Do I have ancestry in Mexico or New Spain? And the answer is yes. There's a lot of people married in the Book 1 of Marriages of San Juan. I think it was about 54 people I counted as mainly grooms. There was a groom and a bride that were both from Mexico or New Spain. And what happened in 1649, the governor of Puerto Rico wrote to the Audiencia of New Spain, to the viceroy, stating, and in Mexico, that they needed soldiers. So the new viceroy of New Spain said, okay. So he sent 400 men on a ship. The ship left, I want to say around May or June of 1648 off of Veracruz in San Juan de Ulloa, which is the fortress there in Veracruz, a little bit south of it. The ship went in the Gulf of Mexico. It crossed over Cuba. When it got to Dry Tortugas, which is west southwest of Key West, they hit a hurricane. The ship shipwrecked. Half the men drowned. All its cargoes went, including porcelain from China, gold, treasure from the Spanish Philippines, as well as silver mined that were made into cobs and everything paid in Mexico. So all of that treasure was lost. Half the men drowned. Those men that did make it was picked up by another ship in the fleet, and they were paid soldiers, and they went and settled in San Juan. People like Juan de Guzman was a soldier on that ship, including other people that I can trace my lineage back to Mexico. And the other gentleman was Luis de Ortega, as well as other soldiers. Well, you can say, well, who's Luis de Ortega? Luis de Ortega, he married into Lopez de Roca family in San Juan. Top of my head, I can't remember the date, but I think it was something like 1655, Christmas of 1655. The couple got married. Yeah, and there's a lot of lines. Another line is Juan Perez, who was from Puebla de Los Angeles. And he married another woman who was on another shipwreck, on a Swedish shipwreck off of Puerto Rico. And she was Bridget de Swan's daughter, or in Spanish, Bridget de la Cruz. They were married and they had a bunch of children, which most likely created the compound surname Perez de la Cruz. Other Spanish conquistadors who came with Cortés was Pedro de Alvarado and his brothers. They were able to first help conquer Mexico. They're the ones that were responsible of having the issue with killing off part of the Aztec Empire. When Cortés came back and found out that half the treasure was gone, he scolded Pedro de Alvarado. Pedro de Alvarado was second in command. Well, he happens to be an ancestor to Juan Blas Sanchez de Matos and his siblings, to their mother Maria Colon. That also includes an ancestor as well as to Estefania Rodriguez de Matos, the wife of Captain Correa. And you can say, how do you know that? Well, there's a document of Juan Lorenzo Sanchez de Matos y Colon. He states, I am a descendant of Christopher Columbus and his family. I'm also a descendant of Pedro de Alvarado, who's the El Dictado, as well as who was in command, in second command to Hernando Cortés. He states that. It's American Services, and I believe it's 1708. That can be found in the Archives and Indies. I have the last page. I've showed it to you guys. So yes, if you descend from Captain Correa or any of these surnames, I will do a second part later because I have to be more prepared to show you. But yes, there are a lot of people that came from Mexico to Spain. or from Spain to Mexico, or even New Mexico to Puerto Rico. And I'm going to say, how New Mexico? Well, my DNA says that. And I don't put it up publicly just for the fact that my family members said don't, including my mom. So they want that private. But yes, we have markers with that. Interesting to mention, we have markers with that. We have markers with Mayan and Aztec and Apache, as well as other native southwestern tribes, which would be the New Mexico, Colorado area, which is interesting, and northwest part of Mexico, which I believe the province or the state is Sonora, which is south of Veracruz, and then you have south of California is Baja California Norte, and then south is Baja California del Sur, which is strange, but that's the name of the states. So you have that. So yes, you do have ancestry in Mexico and what's New Spain, but also there's other branches. There's a lot of families in Spanish nobility that left the Kingdom of Mexico to go to Puerto Rico under the Kingdom of Spain when Mexico got its independence. Is Cinco de Mayo part of independence in Mexico? No, it's not. It's actually celebrated with the defeat of the French Armada or Navy in the 1800s. So that's why they celebrate it. Interesting enough, there are some facts that in Cabo Rojo they celebrate Dia de los Muertos. It's very common in the southwestern part of Puerto Rico. That's because of Mexican roots. Ramirez de Arellano was, an army of Ramirez de Arellano was born there, born in Mexico. To answer the question, no, the Cortez family of Puerto Rico are not descendants of Orlando Cortez. Just to be honest with you, no, they come from a line that comes from La Poza in Burgos, Spain. I know that because I was able to find the marriage record of Manuel Cortez and his second wife. His first wife was Ana de Rojas, which had a daughter named Ana Cortez, who married Diego Ortiz de la Renta. And some of their children used the surname Cortez besides Ortiz de la Renta. You can find that in Yasha's book about Casa de Ortiz in San Román, Cabo Rojo, I believe the title is. So you have that. Also, I found another brother of Diego and Juan and Gregorio Ramos. Diego Ramos Colon and Colon de Leandro, Melchor Ramos Colon, who married a woman by the name Catalana de Salcedo, and their children. I was able to identify one daughter named Ana Colon de Salcedo, born in Mexico City, baptized in the 1630s, I believe 1632, in Mexico City, and she happens to have descendants in Coamo. Why is that the case? Well, most likely Melchor was in the military, was sent there, and then he brought his family back to Puerto Rico because no evidence after beyond that of the couple leaving descendants in Mexico. There is proof that Ana is the same woman that's married Francisco de Torres. She is Ana Colon y Salcedo, and yes, she's a descendant of Juan Davila Colon and Leonor de Leandro. She's in fact the granddaughter. She was from Mexico, so all of these lines end up in Mexico. Not just Mexico, but Guatemala, with Pedro de Alvarado being an ancestor to Estefania Rodriguez de Matos y Colon de Leandro. It's also to mention that Pedro de Alvarado's branch was a female branch, Leonor de Alvarado. Her granddaughter, Francisca de Villacrencia, married her cousin, Juan de Alvarado y Villafani, who was the grandson of Pedro de Alvarado's brother, Jorge. And the male line continues to this day in Mexico and Guatemala and the United States. To mention that when Father Juan Lorenzo Sanchez de Matos y Colon did state that he was a descendant of Pedro de Alvarado, he wasn't kidding. He was also a descendant of his brother, Jorge, and also a descendant of Governor Angel de Villafani, who was governor of Florida for a while, or La Florida. So, just to let you guys know, happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to run and eat at a Mexican restaurant. If you're curious about that, I will post that on my main channel, Brennan the Archivist. Like and subscribe. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Everybody loves this. Americans, everybody. It's international. So, buenos dias and adios, amigos.